What slump? JuJu Watkins powers USC past no. Won UCLA with performance for the ages. Los Angeles. The last few games have been anything but normal for Southern California star JuJu Watkins. She had one of the best freshman campaigns ever last season, scoring at will while bringing the Trojans back into the national spotlight. She largely picked up where she left off to begin this season and looked set to be the next face of the sport. But recently, she hadn't really looked like it. USC was still winning, but Watkins was struggling. In her prior 4 games, she shot just 31% from the field, nothing close to her standards. The sport could only wonder, is this the sophomore slump? Is Watkins finally slowing down? She had us all fooled. The hometown kid shined Thursday, doing it all to lead No. 6 USC to a 71-60 win over rival and No. 1 UCLA, handing the Bruins their first loss of the season. Any worries about a continued slump disappeared the moment she put up her first shot, a 3-pointer. It went right through the net, and she put 3 fingers up in the air, a sign of things to come. She almost couldn't miss. When her team was struggling to get a bucket, Watkins was there to save the day, pulling up from beyond the arc or weaving through the lane. In the first half, she had 25 of USC's 38 points, including a hopping 6 made 3-pointers on 7 attempts. Everyone not named Watkins shot 4 for 19 in the first 30 minutes, while the guard was 9 for 15. What I was so impressed with tonight was just the mentality she came out with, head coach Lindsay Gottlieb said. Obviously, the ball going through the net helps. Of course, it was going to take more than shooting the lights out to put away the No. 1 team in the country. The Bruins came out of halftime and went on a 10-0 run, with center Lauren Betts starting to take control in the paint. It was a fate all 23 teams that previously faced UCLA had suffered. Betts starts to become a nightmare matchup in the post, and the win streak continues. USC center Clarice Akunwafo and company were doing all they could to slow down the 6'7" Player of the Year candidate. But during a break in the action, Watkins went up to Akunwafo and told her something. Betts is a great player, and she's going to score, but I got your back. How did Watkins live up to the promise? By blocking a career-high 8 shots, including some swats on Betts. She did have my back after that, Akunwafo said. After doing so much scoring, Watkins took over the game on the defensive end, seemingly leaping into the air and swatting anything in her vicinity. Betts would get the ball in the post and would be met by a swift block from Watkins. The defensive intensity led to a complete shutdown of the Bruins. After leading by 5 entering the fourth quarter, UCLA scored just 8 points in the final 10 minutes. Watkins ended up with more blocks in the quarter, 5, than UCLA had made field goals, 2. Whatever it takes to win, Watkins said. I didn't plan on having that many blocks, but I think that's what we needed to win. Any way I could help out, that's my goal. The rest of the Trojans were able to put the finishing touches on the signature victory, but it was a night that completely belonged to Watkins. She's always been that way, said UCLA head coach Corey Close. She takes a ton of chances, and she's able to get into a rhythm and really anticipate those. She takes pride on both sides of the ball. She's a really good player. Credit to her for some of the plays that she's made. Akunwafo said she didn't notice Watkins had been struggling recently, but Thursday night may have seen Watkins flip the switch at the right time. Watkins mentioned she did notice Sana Lathan, who played fictional USC star Monica Wright in the classic 2000 film Love and Basketball, was in the star-studded crowd and said you can't disappoint in front of the Ochi. A 38-point game with 11 rebounds, 5 assists and 8 blocks will not disappoint anyone. Heading into the night, Watkins reminded herself to just play the game with joy. She needed to bring back that youthful spirit, the same one that got her to play for her hometown team. That's the biggest thing for me. Go just be happy out there. Go out there with my teammates and get the job done, Watkins said. It has been a tough couple weeks for me, but just staying true to the process. I mean, there's a lesson in everything, and I think that is to always stay joyful on the court. There was plenty of joy inside the sold-out Galen Center. Gottlieb told the crowd after the victory, USC's first over a No. one ranked team since 1983. It wouldn't be one the team ever forgets. If Watkins continues to shine on the biggest stage, there will be much more joy and unforgettable nights awaiting the Trojans in March. UCLA's defensive strategy against USC needs to be discarded. Maybe it was because of the struggles of the UCLA women's basketball team's offense. Maybe it was due to the eye-catching stat line of USC's JuJu Watkins. Whatever the best explanation is, the fact of the matter is that the Bruins' defense was not up to par in Thursday's 71-60 loss to the Trojans. The Let's Talk USC women's basketball YouTube channel released a video Saturday going over Watkins' highlights from the game against UCLA. The main takeaway from the video was disbelief in how the Bruins guarded Watkins, daring Watkins to take jumpers, miscommunication on switches where no one followed JuJu, and a lack of help defense from UCLA were all evident. The video shows Watkins dogging the Bruins' defense all game long, which isn't too surprising considering she finished the game with 38 points in 39 minutes. Her making the shots isn't the surprise. The surprising thing is just how easily UCLA was giving her the shots. When you're facing the best player in the country, it's not a good decision to let her get hers and hope that stopping the other 4 players is good enough. UCLA really didn't let anyone else beat itself, but nobody else needed to when Watkins was cooking like that. Lauren Bett's defensive versatility was not on display in the loss for the Bruins, opting to stay in the paint rather than chase after Watkins on switches. There were too many possessions where UCLA left Gabriella Jaquez or London Jones on Watkins, whose mouth was salivating at the matchup, and let them go one-on-one with the best player in college basketball.